Hi, my name is John Tope, and today we're going to talk about clock repair. This tape is designed to take you from the very beginning all the way through advanced stages of clock repair. We're going to be talking about the American time and strike movements. That's the time portion and the striking portion, so we're going to be covering both areas. This video is designed for the beginner, but also has a lot of information to provide to an intermediate level person and the professional. So as far as the professionals are concerned, we may be able to teach the old dogs new tricks. We're going to be talking about starting with the basics, how to handle, maintain, clean the movement and the case. There's a lot of books and various tapes out there, but they don't always include the case, but the case is very much an important part of the clock. We're going to talk about repairing and improving performance of the clock. Also we'll be curing common ailments like a clock that runs too slow or too fast. Sometimes the clock runs for a while but then it stops. These are common ailments that I hear from people. Or they say that the clock is overwound and it won't run. Actually, there's no such thing as overwinding a clock. It's only because that the clock has stopped because it's too dirty or there's something obstructing the clock. But as far as overwinding a clock, that's really not a possible reason for a problem with a clock. Also, sometimes people come to me and they say, well, my clock does not chime correctly. Well, that's something that could actually be easily fixed if you know what you're doing and what to look for. Or it doesn't stop chiming, or the chime is weak or off tone or none at all. First thing we'll talk about is the proper way to handle the minute and hour hands of a clock. Here we have a Gilbert. The best way to work with the hands is if your clock is running a little fast, you can adjust the minute hand maybe as much as 5 minutes. But clocks are designed to run clockwise. So to run a clock counterclockwise can be detrimental to the clock. But if your clock is running a little fast by a few minutes, you can move it back maybe up to 5 minutes, but I wouldn't put it past that. Also, one thing you want to not do is not move the time back between the hours of 11 and 1. At 11 o'clock is when the warning mechanism engages, which is the clock preparing itself to strike on the hour. So if you move the minute hand during this portion or just after the strike, that could interfere with the striking mechanism. So it's best that you do not move the clock backwards between the 11 and the 1. Same as between the 5 and the 7. You don't want to move the clock hand, the minute hand, backwards between those two time periods. So if it's between 7 and 11 up and through this area, or 1 and 5 and through this area, you can move the clock back, the minute hand back by as much as 5 minutes if it's running too fast. You can always move forward, moving the clock forward, but you want to make sure that when you do move forward, that you move forward and allow the clock to chime on the hour and a half hour. If you go too fast, you can cause the chiming system of the clock to get off sync and chime incorrectly.